Other things I could bring are stuff like these. This is a Petrosidum Forsterianum, commonly known as gold mound. And I have lots of these scattered around in the garden. I have some in the ground, some in planters, some in bowls. And I could definitely harvest them and place them in a little pot, but I don't think they look particularly nice on their own. They are gorgeous as part of an arrangement, so I guess the filler types of plants would be placed in the dish gardens, you know, in my dish entries. So yeah, I think I'll stick with the earlier sedums that I shown you, and this one would be placed in one of my dish gardens. Yeah. And now we're looking at some of my Aeoniums. This is the Aeonium Sunburst. I am not sure if I want to bring this because number one, it's quite large, which means that I would have to find a large pot, which also means that it will be quite heavy. So I'm having second thoughts. Plus, it's leaning heavily now, which means that the stem is weak. There might be an underlying problem with the stem, and it's too late to do some, do some cutting now, because if I have to let it regrow roots, it would be a bit slower since it's getting warmer. So I might have to pass with this one. Another option would be this Aeonium Starburst, and I have recently repotted it after saving it from certain rot, and it looks like it is starting to recover. I see lots of roots growing around, which is a good sign. So this might be a potential candidate. I just need to make sure that I transfer it to a more presentable pot, and at the same time I have to monitor its health and see if it full recovers by October, because it would be a shame. This is a nice plant. It is underrated because people tend to prefer the Sunburst more than the Starburst. So yeah, I hope this gets some love. So this is going to the competition. Next one right here, this is an Aeonium. This was labeled as Aeonium Fairy Wings, and I've had this for almost 2 years now. It's quite neglected. I just had this in a pot all this time, and I just had it stashed somewhere in the garden, which is why it's not looking so good right now. You can see lots of aerial roots and it's overflowing. So I might try to rehabilitate this, but there's no promises, but we'll see. It's still something that I would consider for my entries. I just have to clean it up, give it a suitable pot, and yeah, because I think it would be nice keeping my entries for Aeonium small, because Aeoniums are known for being quite tall. So having them in a more compact arrangement might be good. So I'll be placing it here for maybe. Now this Aeonium tabuliforme, I'm not sure if I want to bring this because it's missing some leaves here. It has shed some. It has shed some leaves at the bottom, which means that it's looking asymmetrical right now. And I'm not really sure if it's show worthy that way, but I guess this is going to be a backup option, just like this Fairy Wings. So I'll be leaving it here. This one, I'm definitely bringing this into the show. This is an Aeonium Short Black. This is a small clump of it. And for those who've been following this channel for quite a while, you would know that the Short Black is my all-time favorite plant, my all-time favorite Aeonium. And I really like its shape, its compact shape compared to other Aeoniums, and it has a very dense rosette, a very high number of leaves. Yeah, I really like it. So because of that, I really need to have this in the show. And a lot of you have mentioned your approval of this pot, so I'm going to pair it with this pot. Definitely, this is going here. So it's going in this pile for the confirmed pile. Just hope it doesn't fall over. Yeah, just leave it at the back for now. And I've got two more Aeoniums here. This is an Aeonium Emerald Carpet, and the name is a reference, of course, number one, to its color, emerald, and the carpet is because the way it grows, it doesn't go too tall, unlike the arboreum types or the David Bramwelli. It tends to just offset low and forms a carpet. So the Emerald Carpet cultivar name stuck. I've seen mass planting of this at the Roraima Nursery here in Lara, in Victoria, and that's when I knew I had to get one of these because I like covering stuff in the ground. So I'm thinking of bringing this to the show. I just need to find a suitable pot for this, and yeah, I think this deserves some exposure, so it's going to this pile. And finally, I've got this Aeonium Ballerina. It's a variegated form of Aeonium Gucciae. Like this one, I had this just sitting somewhere in the garden. So as you can see, the roots are sticking out of the pot. They're not even balanced. Yeah, I think I had this for a bit over a year as well. No, over almost 2 years now. And yeah, it has been fairly neglected. It has been in this same pot the whole time, which means that it's not getting enough nutrients now, and there's lots of bald spots, dead leaves underneath. So it definitely needs some rehabilitation. That is something that I could do once I transfer it to a new pot, but I guess this is a good backup option as well. So I'm placing it in this pile. So I have my 3 official entries right here. And as for these, I'll be swapping out with them in case something happens to any one of these. So, yeah. Cerriscapades is made possible with the support of my Patreon sponsors. Patreon allows you to support content creators like me with a small monthly donation. You can pledge your support by heading over to patreon.com/Cerriscapades. If you're in Australia, I've got some of my plants for sale. Check out my plant shop at cerriscapades.com/theplant shop with dashes.